everybody, Tekking101 here to review Bleach chapter number 676, titled Horn of Salvation. It's so beautiful! Alright, so in case you haven't read it or you just have a very short attention span, last chapter dumped a pretty fucking big Mount Olympus-sized transformation on us here. We had Ichigo properly channeling his hollow powers to their fullest extent for the first time of this series and taking this new form with his horn and his eye scalia has changed. He has markings all over the body, so now he's truly accessed his real hollow powers. Now, you might be saying, what about the visored mask, Tekking? What about his visor training? Certainly he learned how to control his hollow powers there. See, here's the thing. I don't think calling Ichigo a visored is really an appropriate term to use. The same way why I wouldn't call him an Arrancar. Now, I can understand why Shinji and the other Vizards kind of had an idea why he was, oh, he's a Shinigami that had a hollow powers. But there's a distinct difference here that I think I need to elaborate before I get into this review. Okay, so the Shinigami that attained Visored powers through Aizen's influence, through the Hogyoku, they were originally Shinigami to begin with. Alright, they were 100% pure Shinigami, and then Aizen fucked with them with his experimentation in the Hogyoku, and they were like artificially given hollow powers. And then with Arrancars, it's the same kind of deal, just reversed. You had a 100% pure hollow that through some means, some hollows can remove them naturally, just like Stark did. He is a naturally born Arrancar, or Aizen got involved and removed their masks artificially, then they became Arrancars. The difference between Ichigo and Arrancars and normal Vizards is that he was neither pure Shinigami or pure Hollow to begin with. Since the time of his conception, he had Hollow, Quincy, and Shinigami powers melded into him. He's a completely different being, so that's why I don't think just, Shinji's visor training was enough for him to really properly grasp it, because even when using his mask, do you think that was like the full potential of his Hollow powers? Hell no, it wasn't! I don't even think that was like a fucking third of what he can do in his true Hollow form. Even with the other Vizards, I've never really seen like Shinji or Hiyori really go all hollow fucking deck out like Ichigo has. Maybe they could, maybe they couldn't. We don't really know. But Ichigo's a completely new being. I don't think calling him a Vizard or Arrancar, Shinigami, Quincy, none of that is applied. He's a completely new thing. Maybe we could come up with a term for what he is. Maybe a portmanteau of all of them together, like Shinyaranzardwincy. Work on that pronunciation and then get back to me. Alright, but the point of the matter is Ichigo now has a new transformation and he's standing tall with his new form in the midst of the explosion, not really saying much of anything, and we have Orihime, who is, I'm sure, having some major war flashbacks.
Wow. Ichigo's new form really reminds me of that time he... Oh, sweet mother of Red Riding Hood, no. Kurosaki-kun?
Do you think we can get to 10 before the end of the fight? Because I think we can get to 10 before the end of the fight.
Help her. Must help her.
Why does everything I love die? I didn't even ask for help this time. Come on.
I'm just fucking with you, Orihime. I'm cool.
Oh, you were just kidding. Oh, that's so cool, Ichigo. You're so funny. You're the funniest guy ever. Oh my god.
Oh shit, Orihime broke. Alright, let's just mute her here and maybe I'll figure out what to do later. I'll like reboot her or something. You know, if I have time. I'm gonna reboot Orihime. There's many ways you could take that. Alright, yeah, so Ichigo is in complete control here. He doesn't seem to be struggling with the problems of the Hollow anymore, and that makes perfect sense because with the whole deal with Nimaya, when he was crafting his new Zangetsus, you know, the Asauchi that Ichigo chose was like, it resembled his Hollow, and then that's when Ichigo came to the realization, you know, this is not this warring entity inside me that wants to take over my body and control me and run me into the ground. No, it's the exact opposite. This is me. I was born with this. This is part of my powers. I just need to learn how to properly control them because Zangetsu, the blade itself, is me. So it would make sense now that Ichigo and his Hollow self, they're on, you know, good terms okay, maybe not that kind of good terms. That just blows my mind. I mean, I like fan fiction as much as the next guy. Go shipping, you know, whatever. But, you know, pairing Ichigo up with his hollow self, I mean, what do you even fucking call that? Like, seriously, like, it's not like, it's like you clone yourself and it's like, oh man, you're a sexy motherfucker right there, and he just, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's like, is that even a term? Like, I don't know, self-assessed or something? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so they're apparently on good terms, and Ichigo just turns to Orihime and is like, yo, everything's cool, no way, just relax, stand back, it's still me, whatevs. We have Yuha, who is pretty impressed by this whole ordeal. He's like, oh, so, your resemblance as a hollow is striking. Is this the hollow form you take when you meld together with your power? Alright, now, there's a little bit of exposition in this chapter exactly where the basis of Ichigo's power comes from, but let's be honest here, big-ass transformation last chapter, going the Kubo line of reasoning. What's going to be this chapter? I'm gonna guess it's gonna be a really short chapter with a shit ton of full-page spreads with Ichigo launching a big-ass attack, not really expanding the story too much from where we were last chapter, but man is it awesome! Circle gets the square! Alright, so Ichigo just gives a basic breakdown of his powers, and, you know, this is coming from a guy that has done, like, let's see, in the past month or two alone, I've done a video on Ichigo's hollow powers, I've done an Ichigo Quincy powers video, way back, like a year or two ago, I did a power of discussion video just in general about both of them. I mean, it's good to get some credulity is all I'm saying here, because if Kubo came out and was like, yeah, Ichigo's power is, hollow and Shinigami, they're separate, and I'd be like, well, that just throws everything I was hypositing up in the fucking air. Guess I gotta delete those videos. But no, he pretty much confirms everything that I was going along with. We had the Quincy powers inherited from Ichigo's mother, which took the form of Old Man Zangetsu. Okay, those are separate. Then we had the Shinigami powers I inherited from my father, which are also the hollow within me. Makes sense too, although the hollow powers technically did originate from Masaki, because she was the one that was attacked by Shiro, but I understand what Ichigo meant here. We had, you know, not Orihime, we had Masaki had the hollow powers in her, and then Isshin had to meld his Shinigami powers to the hollow, and then binding them that way, and then when they had sex and Ichigo was conceived, they just kind of became one separate hybrid entity. I mean, one separate hybrid entity from the Quincy powers, so then we have hollow Shinigami, and then Quincy, boom. That equals one Ichigo Kurosaki here. But beyond just explaining to Yuha where his power originally comes from and the true revelation he's come to, he also explains, you know, what's up with the form he's taking right now. Like, how does, you know, the two powers that exist within him, how do the entities that exist within him cooperate, and why is he taking the appearance of a hollow right now, and what's up with his swords changing color? He delves into that too here. Yeah, though, to be honest, I mean, I understand it completely, but I think this might be a little bit confusing for you guys, so I think we need some visual aids! So basically, this diagram represents Ichigo Kurosaki's power. He is 50% Quincy and 50% Shinigami Hollow Hybrid. Now, as long as these two sides of him are in perfect balance with one another, Ichigo will maintain control and his normal human appearance no problem. He did this after he reforged his swords together. He understood that they were really part of him and they weren't trying to kill him. So there's been a pretty big balance between Old Man Zangetsu and his hollow self, as they were previously known. However, if it could still happen that one of these powers can take precedence or more sway over his body than the other one, as did Shinigami and Hollow in this respect, resulting in this physical change of Ichigo's body. Something similar might happen if Ichigo's Quincy powers were to take precedence over his body, although I have no idea what that type of form will be. But yeah, that's basically the setup here on why Ichigo took this form, specifically Hollow. Maybe it's because Quincy's are kind of the antithesis of Hollows and vice versa, so Ichigo constantly attacking Yuha, having his Quincy powers rebound back to him, kind of like enraged or agitated or woke up his sleeping Shinigami Hollow hybrid powers, and that overtook his body, resulting in this change. Back to you, me! Ha! Isn't learning fun? What do you think, Orihime? Yeah, sorry, she's still resetting herself, you know. It takes a while, you know, we're working with Windows double D here, so it might take a little bit. However, Ichigo explains that he can't take this form at will, well, just not under his own power. That's the reason he kept, you know, just charging at Yuha like 17 times without any real plan to kind of shift the balance and allow one of them to take form here, which is what the Hollow did. But he says, you know, I'm still far from mastering it, but I had to use your power to give me a nudge. I think what basically that just means, though, is he probably can't stay in the form for too long, and he can't reach this form on his own at the moment. But I guess while he's in this form, he has a decent amount of control. It's not like, you know, it's not like, oh man, I can't control this. I haven't mastered this in the sense that I'll go hog wild. It's just that I can't get here on my own power at this point. So Ichigo takes just one step forward, and then we see all of a sudden he's in front of Orihime. You know, previously Orihime put up the giant Sun Tenkeshun barrier, and then Ichigo was behind her, and then that's where the big form took place. But now Ichigo just kind of takes one step, and he's already way ahead of her, and Orihime, I guess, finally comes out of her daze. Kurosaki-kun! So he tells her to keep her distance, but he also tells her to keep her defending him with her Rika shield. Okay, you know, that's pretty good. I do like that. It's not the same thing. Like, you know, he's like, I got this new power now. I no longer need you, Orihime. Just step back and, you know, defend yourself, or just better yet, just leave. It's like, even while he's in this form, he still is relying on her. So I feel like that's a pretty big step there for Ichigo. Because, you know, I could also see Orihime thinking like, oh, this is the only reason Ichigo relied on me, so I could defend him while he's attacking Yuha, and then after he achieves his form, he doesn't need me anymore in the fight. But that's not the case. He still says he needs her. I don't know if this is just paying lip service, like he really needs her, or he just wants to not make her feel useless or anything. Either way, he starts to charge up, go freaking Super Saiyan 3 or whatever. Ryatsu just begins to geyser out from him, and from what it looks like, his Ryatsu alone is the thing that actually blows the fucking lid off the top of the Silburn Palace. I mean, it is fucking gone, and I don't think that was a Getsuga or anything. That's just his Ryatsu itself, so pretty raw power you're talking right there. Ah, very well, Ichigo Kurosaki. I suppose the time has come for me to draw my sword as well. Oh, here he comes, epic full-page spread. Oh, I just jizzed. Ichigo grabs his hand and he stops him before he could do that, and then proceeds to do another full-page spread where he just slashes Yuha directly in the chest area, which levels the other side of the Silburn. Like, every time Ichigo, like, moves an inch, like, shit is being blown away in every direction. Kind of back like when he fought against Aizen in his Mugetsu form. Well, not his Mugetsu form yet, but his final Getsuga form, with his, like, longer sword that was, like, encroaching up his arm, and Ichigo is just, like parrying with Aizen's blade and, like, casually blowing up fucking mountains in the distance. Kind of like that shit now. Ah, surely you jest. With that meager strength, your blade could never hope to pierce me. I knew you'd block it, you Quincy bastard. That's why I went easy on you. Now get ready for my new technique. Let me guess, it's gonna be Getsuga Tensho, isn't it? Yeah, you just keep telling yourself that. Oh, I know. Let me guess. It's gonna be a Getsuga that's shaped like an X. Yeah, you're so clever, Ichigo.
Grand Ray Zero.
Wait, what about a stingray?
Oh, I am going to fuck the Hollow right out of that man someday.
Yeah! It's always good to end out a chapter with a good fwoosh. You don't get a lot of fwooshes anymore, you know? Fuck it, I'll do one more time. Fwoosh! Yeah! Alright, so, Ichigo apparently jumps into the sky, and using his horn on his head and the sword that is summoning his Getsuga Tensho like normally, he is combining a Sero into the Getsuga Tensho, making it a whole new technique. Now, interesting here is that Ichigo didn't say the full name of the technique. At least I don't think he did. In this one panel here, we say him just say, Granrei Sero, ... And that would imply that there's more to the technique's name. He just, you know, because this obviously isn't a Getsuga Tensho or just a regular Gran Rei Sero. This is something melded together. Even if the whole name of the technique is just like Gran Rei Sero Getsuga or Gran Rei Sero Moon Heaven Piercer. I don't know. Even if that's its whole name, we don't know its whole name. And that's not a thing just for translation. I got a hold of the raw too, and I still think that leads some implications that this isn't the whole name of the technique. I'm glad. You know what though? I'm just just glad Ichigo remembered the damn name Gran Rey Zero, because he only heard it once, if I recall, when he was fighting Grimmjow, and he used it on him, and he's like, this is the Espada Zero, Gran Rey Zero. I don't think Ukiura used it. Ukiura used Zero Oscuras, which I don't know if that was higher level than Gran Rey. I don't know, because on the same level of Gran Rey Zero, or maybe a little bit equal, or maybe a little bit weaker, maybe it was just Ukiura's Gran Rey Zero, and he didn't like the name, so he just renamed it Zero Oscuras. But yeah, he combines them together, which releases, the attack is very similar to Getsuga. I mean, it launches in a crescent shape. It seems to cut right through Yuha like he's made of fucking butter. So yeah, next chapter is probably going to be, you know, Yuha's like, oh, I'm missing half my body, and then he'll just, like, reforge it with his shadows, no problem, because I know this ain't gonna freaking take him down. But, Ichigo clearly has the potential to outwit Bach, at least at this point, because, you know, Yuha just seemed genuinely surprised by, like, wait, he's combining something else. Also, you have to consider that hollows are essentially poison to Quincy, so even though Yuha is pretty damn powerful and he's mixed together with the Soul King and everything at this point, he's still limited by his own powers. You know, he still had to go to sleep, he still had to do the whole Quincy King thing. Absorbing the Ryo didn't change that. It didn't make it like, I'm all powerful now, I no longer need to succumb to my sleep or anything. No, he still needs to do his things that are basically hinging on his Quincy powers, so hollow abilities, best shot at hurting Yuha. That's basically what I'm just throwing out there. Best shot at hurting him would be hollow powers, and Ichigo is apparently having loads of them. So, yeah. That's the end of the chapter. Like I said, pretty brief. Just a brief overview of how Ichigo's powers work, how he attained to this form, and then combines his Zero into his sword. But, hey, I kind of called that shit because I said, I want to see a goddamn Zero light show, Ichigo. Like, lasers going off everywhere, like in a freaking planetarium. But, it looks like we might be getting that. It looks like we might be getting that. It's pretty good. Well, that's that. Except for one thing I have to address here. See, I don't know if I ever mentioned this in a review because I've done so many fucking reviews, I can't remember everything I always said, but I know I said it in a live stream before, that if Ichigo ever manages to launch a controlled Zero, or if he's able to use Keto in the canon of the series, then I will eat my tie. And, well, I don't think the Keto thing's gonna happen. He is very clearly using a Gran Rey Zero here, and he's very clearly in control. So, I guess we gotta eat my tie. Not we. No, where's this we coming from? I gotta eat my tie. Hey, you guys do know there's different definitions for tie, right? So let's just type in tie here in this Japanese dictionary. That's tie. Hey, it's pronounced tie. I didn't say, you know, whatever. Let's go through these options we got here. Okay, so physique, no, that's not good. Can't eat that. That's not even a fucking noun. Oh man, I don't think there's anything I can really. Womb. As in, like, a woman's womb, like where babies are. I really like this tie, guys. I mean, we've been together for 5 years. I bought this tie to go to prom, for God's sakes. We've been together ever since. Hi. New set. I'm excited. Hello everyone, Tekking101 here. Welcome to my first ever manga review. And hey everybody, Tekking101 here. 3 things before we start this video. Number 1, I know I'm not wearing a tie. But I suppose everything does have a price. If it's an honest choice between carving out a woman's reproductive organs and then eating it like some sort of horrible cannibal from a fucking 1970s exploitation movie, or getting rid of just a piece of silk by John Henry, then I think it's pretty clear what I need to do.
A manhunt is underway tonight in West Pennsylvania as a young man-child wearing a suit and tie attacked the maternity ward at a local hospital. Luckily, hospital security was able to tase him in the nuts, after which the attacker shouted "Bonkai" before jumping out of a 4-story window. And unfortunately, we were unable to find him at the site, and he is now at large somewhere in the state. Anyone that has any information should please contact...
Okay, I just realized, did I seriously just make a joke in this video that implied that I went around and cut out the wombs of women with the intention of eating them? Because that's pretty fucked up. I mean, even for me, that's pretty fucked up. Like, I want to let everyone know, I do not go around cutting open women's reproductive organs. Like I didn't even know that was another, translation if you type in Thai in, like, Japanese. Like, the original sketch this was going to be was, I was thinking maybe, alright, I have to eat my Thai, so I imagined, like, a French cafe or something, and I'm sitting there waiting for my food, and then one of the Tekkings, like Law Tekking or somebody comes in with a really painted on, like, cheesy French mustache, and he's like, "Your dinner, sir," and he puts the thing in front of it, and I was gonna cover my Thai up with, like, onions and lettuce and garnish, and I was gonna sit there and try to eat it, and continuing the review as I'm attempting to eat my Thai. Another sketch implied that I was gonna cut up my Thai and then eat the cut up parts, and I was thinking maybe I could use, like, I don't know, bits of cookie or maybe licorice or something to make it look like I'm eating part of a Thai, but that didn't pan out. But no, I decided to type in Thai, and it's like, oh, a womb, okay, we can go dark with this. I should probably put this knife down now. Alright, anyway, thanks for watching, whatever this was, and if you laughed at it, you're probably going to hell. I don't believe in hell, but we're probably all going to hell.